All right, in this video, we're going to attempt to solve quite a complicated issue. This is on my HP Z420 workstation. So in this machine, initially, I had two 3 terabyte hard drives that were in a RAID 1 configuration using my LSI 9260-8i RAID controller card. So recently, I put in two new drives. They are 2 terabyte drives, and the issue that I'm having is that they are not recognized properly with the RAID controller. The RAID controller only shows one of them, and then it shows the other one as an unconfigured foreign configuration, which is not surprising because this is a new drive, and it won't allow me to do anything with it until I clear the configuration. And what I'm worried about is that if I clear the configuration, then I will have to erase all 4 drives and basically start all over again, which is pretty unintuitive how that works, but I think that's probably what I'm going to have to do. We'll see through this video. But in case that happens, I have backed up some of the most important data off those 3 terabyte drives onto another external hard drive. I didn't back up everything because, to be honest, there's a lot of stuff on there that I probably don't need anymore, that I could live without. But I did back up some of the most important data to an external hard drive, and then in case I have to erase all 4 of them. So I will show you the issue here. Let's boot up the machine, and we can get into the RAID controller BIOS, and I can show you how we do that on this computer. Okay, so there's the BIOS screen, and I think what's helpful is if we see this mini option ROM display over here, it's helpful if we enlarge that, so you can just press any key except for the BIOS keys to enlarge it. And then we can see there's the LSI firmware here. And so there it says foreign configurations found. So we're going to press any key for now, and then I will show you what happens, and we can go Control H in a second to get into the BIOS. So if we click Start here, what will happen is it will say foreign configurations found. You want to import, and there's really nothing we can do besides clear the configuration. So I'm not going to do anything yet. So we can see this is just an absolute mess here. So this is the virtual drive that is the RAID 1 between the 2 3 terabytes. That's the one that I have data on. These are the 2 3 terabytes in like a physical form. So 2 3 terabytes here. Drive group 1 is a RAID 0 of just one of the 2 terabyte drives. And then finally we have this one in blue, foreign backplane SAS HDD 1.818 terabytes, which is formatted capacity of a 2 terabyte hard drive. That is the second 2 terabyte drive. Why one of the 2 terabyte drives works and the other one doesn't is beyond me. But I think what we're going to have to do is just clear everything out, which will involve basically erasing all of the drives. So if we go to Configuration Wizard, I played around with this yesterday, and there's just no way, I could find no way to make this work without having to start all over again. So we're going to have to go New Configuration. And it's going to ask us, you've chosen to clear the configuration, which will destroy all the virtual drives. All data on all virtual drives, meaning since this is basically this 2 hard drives in a RAID 1 equal 1 virtual drive. So I have data on that. And Windows sees that as the virtual drive. So that's going to be gone. So I'm glad I have backed up all the data. So yes, we are going to clear this, and then we're going to do this here. Okay, so there's still only one of those hard drives, which is really curious to me. Okay, so let's click cancel. I'm just trying to figure this out live with you to try to figure this out. Okay, let's go configuration wizard. Let's go clear. I want to just start all over again, which it doesn't. This other hard drive, the second 2 terabyte hard drive, still shows up as foreign, which is really, really strange to me. I don't understand why this is the case. I thought this would work, to be honest. I thought this would be the end of it, but that is not true. Okay. So these are all unconfigured. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to try something weird here. I'm going to make this bad, and then I'm going to make it good again. Let's see if this does anything. I have no idea if that worked. Let's see. Unconfigured bad. It still shows up as foreign, though. Okay, so let's try to do this here. Go. Still shows up as a foreign thing. Okay. Here's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to exit out of here. I'm going to reboot the system, and then I'm going to try to import the foreign configuration when it shows that on the option ROM messages. So here we go, rebooting it. No option ROM messages, no BIOS messages. What in the world is happening? It's literally just stuck here. I wonder if this RAID card just totally died. This is really, really not a good situation, is it? Okay, so this machine just is not going to boot. So here's what I'm going to do. It's just going to be stuck here. So here we go. Turn the machine off. Here's the external drive that I backed all the data up to. So that's going to go over here. And I'm going to sort of set this machine on the floor, and then we can open it up and take some materials out of it and then try to boot it up again and see if it works. I think that's, in troubleshooting like this, I think that's probably the best way to go, is to just start removing things, boot it up. If it doesn't work, still keep removing things. You know, there's a lot of stuff in this computer, so we're going to try that. So let's see how that goes. All right, I got a table out so we can work on a table. It's just really low to the ground, so I don't have to work on the ground. So here's the inside of the machine. The camera's seeing the opposite end of it because I'm sitting here at the table, but hopefully you can see it well enough. So here are the drives, and then we have an additional couple here. So I'm going to take this off. And okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all the drives out first. So these are going to go out. 1, 2, and I'll leave the caddies out too, just for now. 3, and then there's the 4th one sitting here in the top, which I can kind of just finagle out like this. Okay, and 4. So here we have all these cables, so I'm going to detach the SATA power from each of the adapters. So now we should just be left with these blue cables here, and here's the 4th one. So now we're left with just these blue cables, as you can see here. Hopefully you can see that. and then this feeds into the card. So here's what I'm gonna do here. There's a PCIe bracket that just fell off. I am going to, this is incredibly dusty here. Figure out how to release these. All right, so let's remove this card here. There we go. And I'm just gonna leave this is super dusty. I'm just gonna leave the cable plugged into it. Okay, so with the card removed and the 4 hard drives also removed, we can see if the machine will boot up now. I don't know. So let's put this off to the side here. I'll leave the shroud, this thing off for now. I just want to see if we get a BIOS, a proper BIOS screen, and then it will boot into Windows. So I will get this set up again, and then we can see what happens. All right, I just did that off camera, and we did get a successful boot without the LSI card. So here's what I'm gonna try now. If I can remember how to get these things open. There we go. I am going to put just the LSI card back in. I think for now I'm going to remove the cable here. Let's see. How do you do that? There we go. Okay, so this cable is just going to go off to the side here, and I'm just going to put the card, only the card, back in to this PCIe slot here, and then we will see if it just boots with just the card. No SAS cable, nothing. Okay, so that card's in now. I'll go test it. All right, so the machine did successfully post and boot with the LSI and no hard drives. So what I've done here is I actually am lucky enough to have 10 of these. So I just got 2 other ones, and we're gonna see if it boots with 2 other ones. The 3 terabytes are still here. Dust them off, good Lord. Okay, so this will go in. I'll put one of these 2 terabytes in the caddy, and I don't have a caddy for the second one, so that will just sit loose. It'll be fine. Well, this has been an interesting drive insertion process because these screws for the caddies keep falling out, so I can never actually put the drive in. How this works is we have SATA power for each of these. So we'll just number them by the number of this. So D1 goes into P1 here, and then D2, P2, and so forth. And then this just connects like this. So it's really, really easy. All right, so I just booted the machine up with all those new hard drives in it, and let's see if it works. That's a good sign. Okay, so let's go here, and then we can get into the BIOS. So it was really just, I mean, at this point, just removing the card and then putting it back in again. So let's try to get into the BIOS here. It still shows a foreign configuration. Let's try to import it, see if it works. If it doesn't work, that didn't work. Okay. We're gonna go Control H in a second. Okay, I want to try this. Let's see if this does anything. There are all the drives. So they all showed up. It did involve data loss, obviously, but all the drives are now here. So let's set this up in the way that I want to set it up. Let's go to Configuration Wizard. I will just go new just to be sure that all the old stuff is gone. Now let's do it manually. There are all the drives. Okay, so let's add one. Whoopsies. 1, 2 here. Accept drive group. And then let's do 1, 2. Accept drive group. Okay, so here's the 3 terabytes. So let's add this, and then array 1 with 4 terabytes. Let's add that. Lovely. Okay. So actually, hold on. Is that the way that I want to do this? I think I want to just do this one at a time. So let's do this. RAID 1 with the 2 3s. Yes, that's how I want it to do, because RAID 0 is 5.4 terabytes. RAID 1 is nearly 3 terabytes. Okay, so let's update size. This is going to be a RAID 1. Read write. Okay, that looks all good. Write through may result in slower performance. That's fine. This is literally just archival storage for now. Press the back button to add a new one. Okay, so there's our new drive group. Let's add it here. Okay, our existing virtual drive is here. I'm going to do RAID 0 with these 2. And then let's do that. That looks good. Update size. I understand this is going to be a RAID 0. I don't really care. That's fine. Okay, I think this looks good. Save configuration, yes. Failed to save configuration. Why? This is really just really weird. Okay, that's fine. I'm really confused. Let's try this. I don't know why this isn't working. Okay, let's do this one at a time. Let's do the RAID 0 first, and then do the RAID 1, if this RAID 0 works. I think that's a better way to do it. Okay, that looks good. Looks good. RAID 1 looks good. Update size. Accept. Fine. Next. Looks good. Does this work? Yes. I wanted to initialize it. I'm already losing data anyway. That worked. So here's our RAID 1 here. Okay, so let's try our RAID 0. Configuration wizard, add. Yep. So let's add to array. Add to array, accept. Looks good. RAID 0. Except there's no way to update size. There's no update size button. Oh my lord. Hold on. Did I forget to do something here? Ah. There we go. No, not RAID 1. RAID 0. Okay, that's how I want it. Next. Create at least one virtual drive. Okay. Update size again. Accept. Yes. Next. Accept. Yes. Yes. Okay, great. We just had to do it one at a time. Lovely. Okay, this is wonderful. So now we have RAID 0 and RAID 1. Okay, so let's exit out of this utility. I'm going to sort of finish setting this up in a more optimal way. I'm going to move the camera around so I'm not standing next to the camera and reaching over. I'll just move it so I can sit and show you how to actually configure this in the operating system. All right, so now just booting the machine up again. Let's see if it boots with this new virtual drive configuration set. Looks good. Let's enlarge this. Looks good. Okay, 2 virtual drives. That's great. All right, so we are booting into Windows, and then I will actually log it in, assuming it boots. Hopefully it does, and then I can show you how to configure it. All right, so here we are on the desktop, and if we go to File Explorer and we go to this PC, what you'll notice is we just have the boot drive, so there's actually no hard drives detected. So what we have to do is go into Create and format disk partitions. Okay, so I'll move it over here so it's a little bit more intuitive for me to see. Oh my God. All my Razer apps are trying to update, which is why this is all hard. Okay. You must initialize it before I can access it. And I want that to be a GPT. Great. I hope this is working. I think it is. So now, let's see. That's our boot drive. This is the RAID. Hold on a minute. Something doesn't look right here. Yeah, something doesn't look quite right here. Look at this. So this is our RAID 1. That looks fine. I wonder if I accidentally selected RAID 1 when I created this virtual drive. Because this should show up as close to 4 terabytes and it's not. So that is concerning to me. I'm gonna reboot this and then go into the BIOS and just check. I'll do that off camera because you already saw how I configured it, but I'm just gonna look because I could have actually done it. I can always reapply those RAID configurations. Okay, let's see if this works. So yes, I do want to initialize those. Let me just move this window over so I can see it better. That worked. That did work. I don't know what happened. It could have been that I accidentally configured the second one to be RAID 0. Either way, here they are. So I'll go new simple volume. I'm not going to mess with any of that. NTFS is fine because these are internal drives and they don't need to be read by any other operating system. Letter D. Okay, I'll assign this a different letter. I'll go E. Lovely. Okay, so now these have the same name, but I'll be able to tell the difference by their size. So here is the RAID 1, and here is the RAID 0. So this did work. These are completely empty now. Now I can start to restore some of the backup data, and so this worked. So if you have a hard drive, a RAID controller in your PC, would I recommend it in the end? Absolutely, because it means that you can have redundancy and all that you wouldn't normally be able to have. I mean, you could do it in Windows, but the problem is, what if an update goes bad in Windows? Then your data's gone because it's not managed by a card. So I think it's nice to have it managed by a card that does introduce all of these other complications. So you just need to be aware of all of these extra things that you have to do, and expect to have to format all your drives, I guess, if you want to add more. So it is a little bit difficult, but thankfully I, like to mess around with these things. So I think ultimately in the long run this was worth it, because now I have 4 terabytes of extra storage, and so I think this was all sort of what I wanted in the end. Was this easy? Not really, but was it worth it? Absolutely. So thank you for watching this video. I'll be working on more videos like this, especially on this HP Z420 in the near future. So thanks for watching.